Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Christopher Michael Curtis Bone. I just want to make some few very important points here. I want to make this as quick as possible. At the same time, it's very important that I take my time when I explain these important points that I want to, in this sense, come to a nailhead here. And of course, once again, bear with me as I go through this incredibly quickly. This, I apologize, of course, should be written format. This will be in written format. However, no, not however, I'm not going to make an excuse. This will be in written format. I can guarantee you that will happen. It shall be posted, and it shall be in news. It shall be in it will be a part of, it'll be a part of news. My as far as news, whatever news is, it'll be a part of news. Okay, so now, important part is of course, once again, we support the U.S. Constitution. Of course, and then once again, and we say, law, and this is what someone knows, law supports freedom of America, freedom, and not tyrannical desire of leaks, which requires justice, and the Truman, his quote was, the buck stops here. Interesting how we are able to coalesce into this type of understanding. Very clear. I'm not trying to lead, or I am trying to lead, but I'm not trying to control. At the same time, we have to use intuition. And intuition, of course, is an important part of not only the brain but of the gut, which has already been reiterated. But I digress. Actually, I do not digress. I reiterate. Reiteration. CIA both preside. CIA. Okay. Both presidents. They preside for. Both presidents. So we know who both the presidents, the previous and the future, which is the present. And declares the campaign press release reveals the truth of actual truth of what's actually going on in terms of, and that's very truthful of actual. And that's very difficult because you have the mainstream media and they actually have the actual media. What the actual media does, independent media. I mean media that which is the very watchdog of the very source of what is the source of that which is to become. And that source of that which is to become obviously reiterates that the lack of credibility has already been provided and stated due to that which was losing credibility and that which is gaining credibility. Which is obviously Infowars.com, which is really spot on point. I'm actually just gonna reiterate that. It's very important. But I say that to accentuate the actual accentuate the actual progression of what I'm going to explain, which is actual true progression, not leftist ideology. I digress. John Brennan, very, very important that we express the importance of John Brennan. It's really important that we express that essence of that, his expedited transformation of creation that he exponentiated, that he supported, that he defends, and that he states ages ago. Now, the important of realizing that point is to allow the actual ability to be realized and revealed, and the ability to reveal expedited and expeditionary travel, which is actually colonial. Actually, I'm not going to use the word colonial, but expeditionary travel of interplanetary destiny, which has been removed by known criminal liars. These known criminal liars are, of course, known criminal liars, and that's breaking it down to the T. Truth, quality. Truth equals quality. Quality is derived from truth. Those combined equals an essence, which is derived from Infowars. From the books that supports Infowars.com, which is from the basis of The Making of America. Or excuse me, The Making of the President, 2016, which is a great book. Epic History is a declaration of the true victors and the true acceleration. Not only with Infowars.com, Breitbart, DrudgeReport.com, and David Knight, and Alex Jones, and Edward Group, Dr. Group, accelerates an acceleration of the actual explanation of that which we are to become the extraordinary existence that we are. And then I get digressed into explanation of John. Explanation of Vault 7, which is equals the revelation and the end of true secrecy, the end of secrecy, in a sense, and therefore segueing into the dramatic revelation, truth, and understanding of transparency. Okay, now we're gonna go into another area here. Just bear with me. Electronics declares subjection to treason. What that means is, electronics have already been, compromised. Electronics, in a sense, have been compromised, were compromised, but at the same, bear with me, not to misrepresentation of liberty, but to overruling of freedom. That's a very complex statement. What I mean to say is, in a sense, I'm going to break it down. Electronics does not control freedom. Freedom controls technology, but we are not controlled by technology because our minds are not controlled. Once again, not to be the misrepresentation of liberty, but to, in a sense, an overruling, or to overrule the control of that which overrules freedom. Freedom cannot be overruled. What that means to say is, wow, dude, that's awesome. What that means to say is, wow, that's awesome. What that means to say is, wow. We are able to streamline into the actual essence of what allows us to really understand. And here's the major point here. Here's the major point. It is not necessarily about being involved in those, and this is very complex, but being involved in those issues that we were involved in, that was the type of control system which was due to the very, very old systems of 2008, which is at the same time in comprehension and understanding of what currently is occurring in terms of the type of manipulation that is due to the very foundation of what happens at the cellular level, which is dealt with in terms of pharmaceuticals, of the very pills, anti-body implementations, and that's that's basically, I'm putting antibody contaminations into an entire category, which is including poisons, pollution, which not only provides clarity, which is the awesome thing, not only provides clarity to the understanding of our human representation of that which represents our body as the celestial body of planet Earth, of Gaia, but to represent as the actual body of that which is the solar system, which of course represents the entire system of soul upon the very creation of that which we can become, which is the very essence of which why it's important that we evolve into that essence, which is, in a sense, stems and is, in a sense, a garden, a seed, in a sense, and at the same time a garden, the flower of creation itself. What that means is it stems and it grows. All right, yes, I understand. What I'm explaining here is that Agartha, Shambhala, I love to reiterate that. It's important to reiterate that. That's what it's going to. And so here's the thing. We need to follow the law. The law needs to be followed. It's immediately important that because the criminals have been subjected to the types of lies and criminals that are clearly lies, it's very, very clear that these criminals need to be subjected to the type of criminal activity that they've been subjected to. Those criminals are known. Those criminals need to go to jail. Those criminals need to be put on the spotlight. Okay, now they're put on the spotlight. They're put in jail. They're put behind bars. Those those bars that they've been put behind are very, very clear, very, very detailed, very, very to the point of the fact that it's awesome. It's awesome. Not only awesome, but obvious that the lines that they broke in terms of if this is not a major break of the very structure of our current of U.S. constitutional system, current political system, but clarity and upon shining the light. Now, this light of shine is not to, of course, separate and divide and conquer either side. It's to really reiterate the point that this illegal activity that has been revealed via, which I'm not going to lie is a stepping stone in the first place, but via the recent declassification of that was mentioned, is endowed to do therefore, which is that which is to be written about, which is very hilarious, but not hilarious, but very clear. It's important to reiterate that we are important, you are important, I am important, this is important, as into the clarity of that which is this establishes. It's not about the establishment of that which is to keep the status quo, but as a matter of fact, the opposite, which is that, not the opposite, but as to that which is the, in a sense, ability to do. So now what we're going into is interesting. So, of course, all three branches of government are important, and what shall be, shall be. Very key. Very key. Another thing is, I've already mentioned this, but crystal technology, light technology, interplanetary travel, faster than light travel, peace on Earth, existence, loving existence, and just life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. So, love continuous. I am your host, Christopher Michael Curtis Bowen, and I am that I am.